There are moments in life where words are used not to connect, but to deceive. There are questions that don't come from curiosity, but from manipulation, from control, from a place where truth is just a costume. This world is filled with voices. Some uplift, some protect, but some camouflage themselves in false kindness and surface-level care when underneath their goal is simple: to confuse, to control, to conquer. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A liar doesn't always lie with their answers. Sometimes they lie with the questions they ask. Sometimes they lie with the questions they ask.
You see, manipulation doesn't always roar. It whispers, it smiles, it leans in gently and says, "Can I ask you something?" These liars don't walk in with weapons. They walk in with questions. Questions designed to poke holes in your confidence. Questions crafted to flip guilt onto your shoulders.
Questions aimed not at clarity, but at control. And if you're not prepared, if you're not awake, if you're still assuming everyone has your heart, you will trust the wrong voice. You will question the right people. You will doubt yourself. So today, we wake up. We expose them. We pull back the curtain.
Okay, we decode their game. These are not just questions. These are red flags with punctuation. This is not paranoia. This is wisdom. Because the moment you learn to recognize these manipulative questions is the moment you stop falling for false friends, toxic lovers, gaslighting colleagues, and hidden abusers. So here they are, the 5 most common, most dangerous, and most manipulative questions liars always ask. You need to hear them, so you never get trapped again. Let's begin. 1. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? This question might sound innocent. It might even sound like a plea for peace or understanding. But let's peel it back. At its core, this question is not about resolution. It's a deflection, a psychological maneuver designed to make you question your perception, your emotions, and ultimately, your truth. This is not a question of concern. It's a weapon of distortion. If someone makes you feel like you're too sensitive for reacting to their cruelty, they're not asking for peace. They're asking for power. When a liar says, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this?" What they're really doing is shifting the spotlight away from their own actions and shining it directly on your reaction. They want to turn the table, from their betrayal to your behavior. And if they succeed, you'll start wondering, wait. Am I overreacting? And right then, they've won. This is a tactic that has existed since human communication began. Ancient Stoics warned about those who speak to confuse rather than clarify. And emotional manipulators often use this line to gaslight you, to subtly plant seeds of doubt so you question your own sense of reality. Let's call this what it is: emotional manipulation wrapped in a soft tone. Here's the hidden danger. Once you accept that you're overreacting, you're more likely to forgive dishonesty, overlook inconsistencies, and suppress your gut instinct. And the more you do that, the more you chip away at your own voice. Imagine this. You find out something shocking, a lie, a betrayal. You confront the person, and they don't deny it outright. Instead, they look at you and say, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this?" Suddenly, you're the one defending your emotions instead of holding them accountable. That is how manipulators win. The moment you start justifying your pain to the person who caused it is the moment you start losing your power. So the next time someone says this to you, pause. Recognize the tactic. You are not too sensitive. You are not overreacting. You are finally seeing clearly, and that clarity is your power. That discomfort you feel, it's not your weakness. It's your awakening to you. Why would I lie about that? At first glance, this question might feel like proof of innocence. It seems logical, even sincere. But don't be fooled. This question isn't about truth. It's about disarming you with disbelief. Let's break it down. This question is a trap, wrapped in logic. It's meant to create doubt, not deliver truth. When a liar says, "Why would I lie about that?" they're not actually answering your question. They're avoiding it altogether. Instead of addressing the lie, they're flipping the script and placing the burden of proof back on you. It's not an answer. It's a performance. The best lies are often dressed in disbelief, not denial. Think of it like a magician's trick. They distract you with their right hand while hiding the deception in their left. This question does the same. It distracts your logical mind while your emotional intuition gets silenced. And here's the deeper danger. It makes you second-guess your instincts. You think, yeah, why would they lie about something so small? Maybe I'm being paranoid, and maybe I'm the problem. But you're not. Your gut is a compass. It may not explain itself with words, but it feels what the eyes cannot see. And when someone looks you dead in the eyes and says, "Why would I lie about that?" That's your moment of decision. Not theirs. Yours. Don't dismiss the feeling just because the explanation is missing. The truth doesn't always come in a sentence. Sometimes it's just a signal. Now, here's why this question is so dangerous. It plays on your kindness. It counts on your hope. Counts on your hope. Assumes that you'll doubt yourself more than you'll doubt them. And sadly, too often, it works. Let's be honest. Everyone is capable of lying. Even the people we love. Especially the people we trust. Liars know this, and they use your trust as cover. Because if you trust them enough, you'll do the lying for them. You'll say, "They wouldn't lie to me." Right? Not about that. And boom, the trap is set. So what do you do when someone asks, "Why would I lie about that?" You don't answer the question, you return to your own. No. Ask yourself, do their words match their patterns? Do I feel peace or confusion when I'm around them? Have they earned the benefit of my belief? The truth never hides behind logic. It stands in the light of consistency. If something feels off, it probably is. If they ask, "Why would I lie about that?" maybe it's time you ask them instead.
Why are you so afraid of the truth? 3. You don't trust me? This is not a question. It's a manipulative guilt trip dressed as heart rate.
It doesn't come with screaming. It comes with a wounded tone. It comes with a wounded tone, with widened eyes, with the trembling voice of a victim. But don't fall for it. This is not vulnerability. This is a trap. Fear being questioned, they fear being questioned. They fear being seen. When someone asks, "You don't trust me?" they're not seeking reconciliation. They're seeking control. They want to make you feel bad for even daring to doubt them. They want to flip the entire narrative. Suddenly, the issue isn't the lie they might have told. It's the fact that you had the audacity to question it. It's classic manipulation. Instead of answering your concerns, they try to become the victim. And guess what? Many good-hearted people fall for it. Why? Because it plays on one of the most powerful emotions in the human experience, guilt. Sigh. They'll shake their head. They'll say things like, "Oh, wow. After everything I've done for you, I can't believe you'd think that of me." This really hurts. And suddenly, you feel like the bad guy. You feel like the one who broke something. You feel like you need to apologize for asking a perfectly reasonable question. But here's the truth. If someone is more offended by your suspicion than inspired to show you the truth, they're hiding something. The dangerous brilliance of this question, "You don't trust me? You don't trust me?" is that it shifts the emotional. Instead of proving they're honest, they expect you to prove your loyalty. That's emotional blackmail. It's not love, not intimacy. It's not respect, it's control. Period. So what do you do when someone asks, "You don't trust me?" You stay rooted in your truth. Trust. Trust is not a gift you hand out blindly. It's not owed, it's earned. And if someone truly values you, they won't run from your questions. They'll welcome them. Because truth fears nothing. Only lies demand silence.
A loyal person is never afraid to be questioned, because they know the truth stands on its own. So no, don't feel bad for asking. Don't back down because they pouted. Don't apologize for protecting your heart. You're not being dramatic. You're being discerning. And that's wisdom in action. Why would I lie? On the surface, it seems innocent. But this question is not an answer. It's a diversion. A deception doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears a smile and a soft voice. When someone says, "Why would I lie?" they are not defending their innocence. They are trying to put you on the defensive. They're not clearing up confusion. They're hoping you'll do the mental gymnastics for them. Think about that. Think about that. You confront them with something suspicious. You ask for clarity, and instead of directly answering, they ask you this loaded, manipulative question. Why would I lie? It seems rhetorical, but it's calculated. They want you to scramble for reasons, to get trapped in your head, to start doubting your own instincts. And the worst part? Many people fall for it. But let's break it down. There are hundreds of reasons why people lie: to cover up guilt, to protect their image, to avoid consequences, to manipulate your choices, to make themselves look better, to gain advantage. So the real question isn't, why would I lie? Lie? It's, what would I gain by lying? And what would I lose by telling the truth? And that answer, only the liar knows. When someone asks, why would I lie? They're not interested in truth. They're hoping you're too afraid to ask again. It's a deflection that places the burden of proof on you, not them. It's an illusion of innocence, not the real thing. So what should you do when you hear this? You pause, you look them in the eyes, and you remember, real honesty doesn't need to hide behind a question. It just speaks. Don't let that question shut you down. Don't let it make you doubt what you've seen or felt. You are not suspicious. You are not paranoid. You are not overreacting. You are observing. And truth begins with observation. Observation. Truth doesn't tremble when questioned. Only lies do. So no matter how many times someone says, why would I lie? Don't take it at face value. Look past their words. Look at their actions. And most importantly, look at how you feel when you're around them. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. 5. Don't you trust me? At first glance, this question sounds like a plea, like a soft whisper from someone wounded. But don't be fooled. It is not a plea. It's a trap. A trust is earned. It is not demanded with a question and sealed with guilt. When someone asks, don't you trust me? They're not seeking your trust. They're trying to control the narrative. This is how it works. 1, they lie. 2, you feel it. You sense it. You question it. 3. And instead of offering clarity, instead of being transparent, 4, they drop the guilt bomb. Don't you trust me? It's subtle emotional blackmail. It makes you question your instincts. It makes you feel like the bad one for having doubts. Even when your heart is waving every red flag, it can. Let's be very clear. Trust is not the absence of questions. Trust is the result of consistent truth. If someone truly deserves your trust, they won't shame you for needing reassurance. They won't guilt trip you for asking questions. They won't panic when you need clarity. But liars? They don't want to be questioned. They want blind loyalty, because the truth can't stand up to scrutiny. Liars fear one thing above all else: your decision to finally believe what they tried to make you ignore. When they say, oh, don't you trust me? They're hoping you'll fold. That you'll abandon your instincts, that you'll silence your inner alarm. Because if they can get you to feel bad for questioning them, they've already won. So how do you respond? Stay calm. Don't get defensive. Don't fall into their emotional setup. You respond with your silence, your composure, and your decision. Because real trust isn't built on guilt, it's built on actions.
And if their actions don't match their words, the answer to their question is simple: a not anymore. If trust ends where deception begins, no matter how softly they speak. With this, we've now uncovered all 5 questions liars tend to use. Each one is a mask, a performance, a smokescreen. A smokescreen. There is something quietly terrifying about the subtle art of deception. Not because of how loud it is, but because of how familiar it sounds. Liars don't always come roaring in like storms. No! The most dangerous lies are whispered through smiles. They're clothed in comfort. They walk into your life like old friends, and their questions are not just words, they are tests. Each one is a map leading you away from your truth if you're not grounded in your own clarity. Intention to manipulate your reality. But you don't have to surrender it. The reason these 5 questions are so dangerous isn't because they're clever, it's because they're emotionally targeted. They go for your soft spots, your kindness, your patience, your hope that people will change. Your desire to believe that maybe you're wrong and they're right. But here's the truth that most don't say. Not everyone who smiles at you is safe. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every person deserves your trust. Warning: you cannot heal around dishonesty. You cannot think clearly when you're constantly being gaslit. You cannot love with depth while walking on the eggshells of someone else's manipulation. You were not made to be confused all the time. You were not born to second-guess your every feeling. Tess, your every feeling. You are not here to carry the burden of someone else's lies like they're your fault. Let's stop pretending we didn't notice the shift in the room. Let's stop pretending we're okay when we're not. And we're not! Let's stop apologizing for simply noticing that something feels off. Your intuition isn't paranoia. Your suspicion isn't weakness, and your silence isn't consent. You don't need to prove that you're not being too sensitive. You don't need to stay where you're constantly defending your own clarity. You don't owe anyone your peace, especially someone who keeps trying to rob you of it. You will never reach peace by negotiating with chaos. Seedling, let this be your new mindset. Trust slowly. Question what feels off. Walk away when someone refuses to honor your truth. And above all, don't fall for the question that's designed to distract you from the answer that's already inside of you, because you already know. You've already know. You've always known. This isn't about hate. This isn't about revenge. This is about freedom. This is about honoring your inner compass, even when others try to twist it. You've done the doubting. You've lived in the fog. Now, it's time to walk in clarity. You don't need to burn bridges, but you're allowed to stop lighting the path for people who only walk into your life to lie. The final word. Liars may come with questions, but you come with answers. And that makes you powerful beyond measure. Choose truth. Choose clarity. Choose yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Because once you do, you'll stop hearing questions designed to confuse and start hearing the sound of your own voice. Steady, strong, and finally free.